Hello everybody and welcome back to Path of Exile 2. I have run into kind of a brick wall with this bleed Rake Amazon character that I have right now. I'll try to explain that as I do this battle, but we'll see how it goes. I think the issue that I'm having right now, well, the issue that I'm having is definitely that my bleed is no longer, you know, as my significant high DPS thing that I can rely on like it was for most of my playthrough so far. And part of that, I think, is just the fact that, you know, monster health goes up a lot as you progress through the game. Monster resistances to things go up, I think, as you progress through the game. And I think those are some of the reasons why, but I think the biggest reason why is just the fact that I got complacent with the idea that I could just go for full-on damage and everything would sustain just fine, and it's not the case. I have a significant portion of my damage coming from lightning, which doesn't really help in a bleed situation, and for most of the game that wasn't a problem. I keep finding these really nice spears that have a lot of lightning damage, and it hasn't been that much of a problem. But now that things have lots and lots of hit points, but the biggest thing I'm coming into, I'm about to explain that. I didn't even press that. Don't press that. The biggest problem I'm coming into right now is just the fact that lag, or some kind of interface lag when it comes to some of my ability. That right there. So because I'm having to rely on this dash forward, leap back, and then attack from afar kind of thing, that's a workable solution unless something happens that causes there to be some kind of a lag when you press the button, and then there's a phase problem where like the game kind of hangs for a second, and then I'm here, he doesn't attack, and I don't know that that's happening, so there's some kind of weird server lag that's causing me to end up dying for no reason because I press a button thinking that the timing is going to be one thing. It ends up being another thing, and then I die for no reason because, you know, there was no way for me to foresee that that was going to happen. Like, it almost always happens after I press the button. So it's just, I don't know. Like this boss specifically, I'm continually having to refight him because I'll press the button and then he'll start some kind of attack, and then there's some kind of weird lag that happens, and then I end up just standing there for the hit instead of being able to dodge back like that. So I end up just standing there, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to dash in for my attack and then use my disengage ability. Sorry, I'm shouting. I'm trying to use my disengage ability. The air conditioner's on in here, so it's very loud. And the music is also just kind of really loud. I'll turn that down so I'm not shouting at you guys anymore. Sorry about that. So what ends up happening is that I dash in to do my attack. There's some kind of a server hang or something that causes me to be unable to do anything anymore. And I press the button for the disengage, but because there's some kind of a lag, I end up just standing there and letting the attack hit me. Not because I'm standing there and letting the attack hit me, but because the server decides, nope, we're gonna pause for a second right now and just have you sit there. So I'm not sure what the solution is for that. I'm not really sure what the solution is for that. If I can dash in and then immediately disengage like I've been trying to, it's fine. Like that right there. Oh, there we go.
Wait.
That right there, if I can dash in and then disengage back out, it's fine. But if there's any kind of like a server or client lag or whatever this is that's causing me a problem, it almost always ends up killing me. So I'm not sure. I just have to get lucky, I guess, on this one. But I think the biggest thing I need to do is just I need to get out of these spears that have like elemental damage on them, and I just need to really find like really need to find like a pure physical spear. I mean, honestly, I think at this point, with the way things are now, I think that even a significant overall DPS drop would be better if I can just like reasonably increase my my physical damage. I think that's where I am right now. So I think that's my guess. I have no way of like corroborating that. I don't know how important the different damage types are. I'm pretty sure that elemental damage has nothing to do with bleeding. So you know, I'm going to be on the lookout for a decent... be on the lookout for a decent physical damage spear. Just gonna run over here to try to avoid most of that. Gotten a lot further on this attempt than I have on the other ones. Out of the ice. Come on, I'm targeting him. Okay, maybe we can get him this time. I think we got him. I think we got him. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, I've had to fight this guy a bunch of times because I keep getting that thing that I showed you guys in the first fight where it's just, you know, it just, the client or the server or something kind of hangs, and then I end up just being forced to sit there and fully eat the big bad slam that he does, and there's just nothing I can do about it when that happens. So, I don't know. It would be really nice if I could find a really good high physical, like if I can find something that has significantly higher physical damage than 73, then I'll probably try to do that. But for now, I'm just kind of stuck with what I have. I haven't really been able to find anything that's a better spear than what I have. Yes. So let's disenchant. I'm also kind of on the fence about. Sticking with pure evasion gear because when I do get hit, it hurts. It hurts hard. Even like mostly with the small stuff. My understanding is that armor, for the most part, has pretty decent damage reduction when it comes to small hits. It doesn't really help you with big hits, but you should be dodge rolling those anyway. So I'm thinking, you know, maybe switching to more of a mercenary loadout with the armor and armor/evasion, just so I have some evasion, some armor, some damage reduction. And I mean, this right here is a pretty decent. This right here is a pretty decent piece of kit. So I think I'm gonna hold on to that, and then when I hit 51, I think I might switch to that. That might be a mistake, but my instinct is telling me that it's better to have a little bit of armor, because it gives you at least some damage mitigation. Which, honestly, I know people shit on armor, and I probably understand, probably reasonably so. But at the same time, it's like, you know, and I'm really focusing on a strength build anyway for this character, which kind of lends itself towards that anyway.
This hooded one is here. Take
a
look.
So, what I'm looking for now is, I mean, not really anything, I guess. I mean, it might make sense to just have the armor piece be that, because that's going to give me 100. That's going to give me almost 200 by itself. I can't imagine any of the helmets or the gloves or anything are really going to give me that much in the way of armor. So I might stick with like an armor evasion chest piece and then just do evasion everything else, and then hold on to this armor and evasion shield because it gives me more of a, I believe it gives me more of a block chance than any of these bucklers. Yeah, it gives me a better block chance, and you know, I think that's probably what I'm going to go with. I don't know. We'll see. So we're in Cruel right now. I don't really need to go do the Fraythorn or the whatever the other little foresty tree thing is. I don't really need to go do that because we're not going to get any more spirit out of that. You do get more spirit out of the second witch lady thing. You do get more spirit out of that, but you don't get any more spirit out of this guy here. So we're just going to skip over that entire zone. There's no reason to do it. Okay.
Die, beast! Bleed to dry! Hold on!
Cooldown on my disengage is like ever so slightly too long. And die.
Need more time.
Yeah. Like ever so slightly too long.
Need a moment.
You see what I mean? Like I'd love to be able to just kind of dodge roll back in there, or you know, yank right back in there, but it never lets you do that. burn him down and keep moving. Ow. So I think my ability rotation is something along the lines of hit, disengage, hit, and then the dodge roll. Unless you get unlucky, and then things like that happen. Ow! See what I mean? Like, I need some damage reduction. Because when I do get hit, it hits hard. It hits really, really hard. I take all that damage right into the face. Then anytime I have like rares or bosses or anything like that, it's just spear them down. That's just my highest. It's my highest source of damage. It's just spearing them down while I try to get them to bleed out. I mean, I don't need to. Well, we do need to go back and find the Crow Bell because he'll get me. There's four skill points here that we need to grab. So we'll go ahead and go grab the. We'll go ahead and go grab the loot here, and then return that to Una. So we can get our 2 skill points for that. Then we'll go back to the other place and go try to find the Crow Bell.
Need more time.
I got, like, there's a rhythm you get into, and I just haven't gotten into it yet. I mean, I can just, if I just wait a second, I guess, I can also just, the disengage will come back. I just feel like it's not as fast as just dodge rolling and getting in there and dodge rolling. Because I need to keep applying that bleed and keep it moving. Alright, is it this way and around and down, or... I feel like we probably had to have passed it by now already. Not sure which way it's gonna be. It's got to be that way, because usually usually the house is kind of on the straight road when you go this way. I don't necessarily mind this dash in, zip out, and dash in style of combat. You know, it's not the most terrible thing in the world. But like I said, when you have some kind of a weird hang-up kind of thing happening that slows you down and causes you to end up dying because of that, then you know, they need to address that problem before they really start focusing on that being the fighting style that they're looking for. Because I know they were talking about, like, that one of the big reasons why they have the game set up the way that they do is because they want this kind of, you know, focused combo style of thing, and I'm fine with that. It's not the combo style. It feels like it just takes way too long to kill things. It takes way too long to kill things. And then the other part of it is just the fact that, you know, they want this meaningful combat thing, but then they still fill up the screen with, you know, enemy after enemy after enemy, and don't provide you with a way to do screen clears anymore. So, you know, you still have to clear entire screens, but you're not given the tools to clear the screens. You know, so it's like, what are you supposed to do with that? Actually, as I always do when I do these, I forgot to pull up my thing for this. So it's an Amazon, a Spear Hunter. Well, it's not the Spear Hunter's leveling guide. It's I think it's the Bleed Rake Amazon build guide. Yeah, but that's not the right one either. Damn it. Sorry. For some reason, my history is not pulling up the correct one. Usually I can just go into my history, search for it, and then it just kind of shows up right there, but I don't know, it's insisting on not doing that, because I'm using the one by Ziggy D, the Spear Hunter. Oh, it is the Spear Hunter's leveling guide. Sorry, that's my fault. I didn't think that was the right one. Anyways, this one is using a Bleed Rake build, but I need to pull up the skill tree so I can know what's coming next. So we just finish grabbing this one, this guy right here, and then after we finish that part of the tree, we're supposed to come down here, and grab all the way up this side of the tree and then back down that way. So, okay. We're really focusing on this incision thing that it's doing, which does... it's a debuff that causes the affected target to gain increasingly higher chance to be inflicted with bleeding on hit. I guess for the secondary ability that we use with this, that might be better. Okay. I guess. You know. Our main ability has a 100% chance of applying that. So it doesn't really help that, but we do have Stomping Ground, and Stomping Ground does not have an ability, but the Rake, the reason we have Lacerate here is to make our Stomping Ground have a chance to bleed, and then all of those other things are making our Stomping Ground have a better chance to do more damage in an area around us, so I'm pretty sure that's the way that's working. I can't really be super sure about that. Ooh, okay. Well, we're definitely doing that. Let me buff that up. Okay. So we'll swap that out, because that's definitely a better option than what we have in there at the moment, because this the extra strength is important for the build that we're doing, because strength is damage for us. Alright, so we're not going to go straight back to Ogum. We're going to go back to the hunting grounds, because we need to keep looking around for the Crowbell. Oh, I should have went back to Ogum. That's the way you're supposed to do that.
The thrill of the hunt.
So, because now we got to walk all the way back down there again. Okay, so yeah, we just got to try to get down to the edge of the map over here, and then we'll continue going around until we find Mr. Crowbell. Then we'll kill him, grab his 2 skill points, which will get us further down that tree there.
Hold on.
I also need to use my beast thingy, but I guess not, because I'm already using I don't really care about that. When I get the extra spirit, I can figure that out, but part of this build is supposed to tame a beast. It's supposed to tame a beast that'll give you an aura that helps you out, I guess. I don't really need that, because I'm already using all my spirit anyway, so I'm not really going to focus on that. I guess if I find a rare beast that has an aura that I really like, I'll grab it, and then eventually when I have the spirit to use it, I'll do that later, but for now, it's not really on my radar. Hey. Get a free one now anyway. Alright. Does not look like that's what we're looking for. I don't believe that this area here is what we're looking for either.
Hold on.
Lost my rhythm there for a second. Okay. Moving on. Where is Mr. Crowbell? Now, this isn't really what we're looking for, but since we're here. I'm going to take the crossblade spear. Let's go back real quick and see if maybe we can magic this up into something better. Probably not, but we'll try. Oh, that completely wasted that. You see what I mean, though? Like, this is the way it goes. This is why I'm not a big fan of the crafting system in this game. I'm not a big fan of the way that items work in this game, because it's always like that. We don't want to go to that. We're just looking for Mr. Crowbell so we can finish that guy off. once in a while, I throw a blood hunt in there. Just to kind of slam stuff. Because if you can get a single target to die while it's bleeding, then it'll explode, and sometimes that can just cause a chain reaction. Or, you know, if you only have like 1 or 2 targets left, it just kills one and gets him out of the way, which is nice. So of course we ended up going all the way around the map the wrong way, because, you know, of course we did. Could have just went off to the left and it would have been fine. Alright. Let's get this guy killed. Alright.
Wait!
So for these guys, you just gotta spear them down.
Bleed out!
Stay out of his damaged area there. Okay, cool.
I've been itching for a good hunt.
I'm just gonna damage him as much as I can while we're coming down here.
Feisty, are we?
Best I can do is just kind of roll around him as much as I can, stay behind him. Hope he doesn't slam me with anything. Okay. Try to burn him down as much as we can while he's stuck here. Really need to get him out of this area here. He's relatively easy once you get him into the next little area. But you got to get him past this part first. So, like, I'm using my blood hunt a little more than I probably should, but I'm trying to, like, hurry up and get him down. Get him down to the part where he runs off to the next thing. Because he's got this, like, massive AoE slamming on the ground thing that he does. That, and if you're unlucky enough to be in it when it happens, it can suck. By all rights, I probably should have died right there. I got really lucky that I didn't take enough damage to die there. Can't really do too much damage to him when he's in this mode, but at least you can kind of keep him, you know. I can just follow him, like, biting his ankles along the way. Ow. Yeah, that was some lag that you just saw right there. That is going to get me killed if it continues to do that. That was my fault. That one was my fault.
Soften the wound.
Oh, come on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, come on. This is not the time for that. This is not the time for that. I'm gonna die now because I can't. I can't see anything that's happening. I got super lucky that it didn't screw me. I got super lucky that it didn't screw me. Oh my god. Okay. All right. I feel a little bit okay now. I was about to get really upset because that was some bullshit, but everything worked out. It's okay. that's going to go ahead and be the end of today's episode. Hopefully you guys had lots of fun. Be sure to click the like button, subscribe to help us reach 10,000 subscribers. Join as a member for early access to videos, among other perks, or you can just leave YouTube's version of a tip with the thanks button. You can also choose the thanks button. It's something about becoming a member. You can also join as a member for early access to videos, among other perks, or you can just leave YouTube's version of a tip with the thanks button. I also have PayPal and Patreon links for those of you who prefer to go that route.
What have we got?
Because some people
What
do
would
like to
you
go
like?
outside of YouTube to help out with channels, so those options are there for your convenience. So again, thanks for watching. Be sure to come back for our next video, and I'll see you then.